back to Fresh at Burcott, and here we are at the beginning of another growing season, and it's all very exciting. There's lots of lovely new plants coming into the garden centre. If you visited any garden centre recently, you probably would have seen that there's quite a lot of what we call baby bedding plants. Now these are young plants that are ready for you to grow on at home and turn them into beautiful bedding plants ready for the summer season. They either come as in trays like this, usually about 15 or 20 plants in a tray, and these are what we call plug plants. And you can see that they're all little segmented sections in each tray. They're quite small, but they should have a good root system on them. In fact, that one's got such a lot of roots it doesn't want to come out. You can see that the roots are there, and they're ready, as I say, ready to be planted up to grow into a bigger plant. There's some begonias here as plug plants, and some lobelia. They're particularly useful if you've got fiddly little seeds like begonias and lobelia, which are quite difficult to sow and germinate at home. But here they are ready germinated, so it's a much easier way of getting your young plants. Or you also get them as young cuttings. This is a nice little fuchsia plant here, or an ivy leaf geranium. And again, they're just ready to be potted onto a slightly bigger pot, ready for your hanging baskets and tubs later on in the year. So I'm going to show you now the planting on process and how easy it is to produce your own bedding plants. So I've got some compost here. I like this Vitax Q4, but you can use any good multi-purpose compost. I particularly like this one because it's a lovely fine compost, so it's easy for the young roots to get in and get established. So I'll just get a little bit in my potting tray there. You can see it's a very nice fine compost, very easy for the roots to get into. And for the plug plants, I'm just going to put them into a slightly bigger segmented tray. So I've got this one here with 15 segments, the same as in the plug tray there. But they come in various sizes, but I think this is a good one to use to grow on into a ready-to-use plant for your hanging baskets. I'm going to fill that with compost, and I literally just sprinkle it all over, just settle it down so that each segment is completely filled with compost. Very straightforward process, just level it off. I don't want to firm it down too hard because I want the roots to be able to get in there easily. Just give it a bit of a jiggle to settle the compost, and that's ready to go. So all I need to do now is carefully squeeze the plug plant out of the compost. Try to be careful not to damage the roots too much. If you hold the plant by the top, it'll mean that you don't damage those roots, and the roots are available ready to grow in and make a good plant. So I make a hole in the top of the segment with my finger there, just wiggle it open so it's ready for the plant to go in, and literally just drop that in and gently squeeze round. And it's just as easy as that, and you just carry on doing each one just like that. You can see they already seem to look as if they've grown before you've even started there. They somehow seem to look better and fuller there. And you just carry on like that until your whole tray is filled. Then I'll just water that over gently with a sprinkler rose so that the soil settles down. And then I'm just going to pop that segmented tray into a seed tray. You can get various different sorts, but this is quite a good one. That just sits in there. And then just to give them a really good boost, I'd probably cover that top with a propagating top like that. This is a good one because it's got a ventilating system, so you can just let some more air in if you need to. But you can get just cheaper versions which are just literally a see-through top like that. And that just sits over there. If it's a nice sunny day, you need to keep this on a sunny windowsill, by the way, so that that's getting a bit of warmth, or in a greenhouse if you're lucky enough to have one. And if it is very sunny, you probably take the top off so that they get a bit of air movement in. And in no time at all, those will make really big, strong plants. So that's the plug plants. And then for the baby plants, they need a slightly bigger pot. So I'm just going to use a 9cm pot there. You can use these plastic pots, or you can use peat pots, which then you don't even have to transfer. The roots will just grow through the peat base of that pot, and they'll just be ready to plant straight out. But if you're using a plastic pot, Just a little bit of compost in the bottom there. Gently knock your plant out. You can see all the roots there, so it's made a good root system already. And then just pop that into the pot. Again, fill that with compost. Press it down a little bit. Stand that on a saucer or in a covered closed tray, and away that goes. Water it in. In fact, this plant is doing so well, you could probably even get a couple of cuttings off there. Just nip that underneath there and take those lower leaves off. Put that into some soil, and you've probably got 3 plants for the price of 1 there. And so easy, very economical way of producing your own plants, and great fun too. So have a go, plug plants and baby bedding. Really good plants to be getting at this time of year.